everyone, this is Lori Radis once again with 12 Paw Designs. In this week's blog, we are going to be working on a fun fall shirt, and we're going to use heat transfer vinyl to do that. So I have my shirt, and then I'm going to use 4 different colors of metallic heat transfer vinyl for my shirt. So the first thing you want to do is load the free cutting file into your vinyl cutting software of choice. So, and cut that out based on your settings. And you also want to make sure that when you cut out heat transfer vinyl, I always like to think of it as you want to put the pretty side down. So the pretty side is going to go onto your mat. And you also want to make sure that you are reversing the image. So make sure that you follow the prompts, or you're doing it so that you don't accidentally waste vinyl because you cut it on the wrong setting. So make sure you're either flipping your image or that you're letting the software do that for you. So make sure you're taking care of that. So once it's all cut out, you're going to want to come through in here and you want to weed out your vinyl, and just go ahead and weed everything out. And one of the things you will notice, and I usually always do this, is I like to use weeding boxes. It makes things a lot easier to weed everything out and find it, and I feel it helps me save vinyl so that I can actually easily see where my lines are and everything, instead of cutting, crooked lines. So I just easily cut out those. And I'm just, like I said, going through and cutting out all my vinyl, or weeding out all my vinyl, and going from there. And then once it's done, we're going to go over to the heat press and my shirt, and we're going to press it. Okay, now that we have all of our heat transfer vinyl weeded, let's go over to the heat press and find the center of our shirt. And I always like to take my shirt, fold it in half, and put it on the heat press to find that center seam. It also is that pre-press time to actually take out any moisture or anything else like that out of the shirt. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay it out on my platen, and I'm going to take my words and kind of arrange them. And remember, this is kind of more of a whimsical type saying, and I'm just going to make sure that I still follow. I like to do 3 fingers below the collar line, and I'm going to lay my design out a little wonky, a little fun, a little turning here and there, just so that it's more of a whimsical because of the saying that it has. And I just want to lay them out and make sure that I have it, and still kind of follow that, knowing where my center is, just still making sure the image is centered on the shirt. But again, I'm just going to kind of play with the placement a little bit. And then once I have that, I will press it down. Now, remember, in this case, I'm kind of laying everything down to make sure that I have my placement where I want it to be. But because of the transfer sheets, you have to make sure that they're not overlapping each other and touching. So you want to be careful of that. So I took out the I'm going to do fall and favorite first. Oh, and I found that I missed a little piece of vinyl, so I pulled that off. So I'm going to do fall and favorite first, and I'm going to press them for just a few seconds. And you can actually see here that there is my transfer sheet is just a little bit hanging over onto the fall, and I don't want that, so I'm trimming them away so that they're going to be even. Now, one of the things, because I'm going to be doing multiple presses on this shirt, I'm actually only going to press it for just a few seconds, just enough for that vinyl to come off the transfer sheet. Okay? Now, I'm also using metallic vinyl, and with metallic vinyl, it is a cold peel. So you can see that I'm trying to cool off my vinyl, or cool off the transfer sheet, so that I can get the vinyl to come off. And so again, I'm just trying to get everything to cool down as fast as possible. And if I would have had a piece of granite, works really well, I kind of ran that piece of granite over it. And you can get those at like Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards or someplace like that. Sometimes they sell, sometimes they give away one of a kinds for free or whatever. But so take a look at that. I still have to get one myself, but as that's an option. So you can see here, I'm just carefully trying to as I'm going along. And I went a different direction because it came off a little easier the opposite direction. So once you peel that off, then I can go ahead and add my next word. And I'm trying to minimize the number of presses that I'm doing just because it's a cold peel when it comes to metallic. So I'm trying to keep that to a minimum. And as I get each piece off, then I'll go and lay them down, and I'm going to try and maximize the next couple of presses as much as possible. And I did fall in favorite first because that was going to be my centering points and things like that. So that's why I went after that one. And the other ones I can actually fill in the other words, and so I can get is my second, and I can get Fword on the bottom. And then I can also, based on this, get a few of the leaves in as well. So let's go ahead and get those in. And need be, when doing them, if you need to cut away some of your carrier sheet for the for the vinyl, go ahead and peel those away. Don't feel they can be small and everything else like that, so that it helps maintain or minimize how many times you press. Then once I had everything on there, I went ahead and pressed it down, and again I'm just kind of doing enough to get it off the carrier sheets, and then I want to take a look at it and make sure that I can actually see some of the fibers coming through the vinyl. So I'm going to cool it off and go from there. And then once I have everything off, I'm just going to give it one quick little press. It's not going to be a long one because I did go the time frame that was recommended for the metallic, and I go from there. I actually got this metallic vinyl from 143 Vinyl. They have some really pretty metallic vinyls, and they were recommending 320 for 15 seconds and then a cold peel. You can check the settings. Sizer actually has a really good application and website for checking settings on metallics and things like that. If you find that you have heat transfer that doesn't actually list the settings and stuff like that, they actually have some good resources. And a good rule of thumb is, in this particular case, with metallics are normally a cold peel, but you always want to make sure that after you peel and you take a look at your vinyl, whether it's metallic or anything else like that, you kind of want to make sure you're seeing some of those fibers, that you can see the vinyl going into those fibers. You want to make sure that you have good adhesion and that it's not going to peel off on you later. And there you have it. Everything is off, and like I said, I'm just going to give it missed one, and I'm just going to give it that final press, and there you are. How fun is this? So it's a fun fall shirt. Kind of says my feelings some days. So enjoy the free files, and we will see you next week with my next blog post. Enjoy. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.